Hi everybody, and thank you for having myself and my colleague Megan Shannon with you today. We're going to talk about the library services, and we're going to talk a bit about academic integrity at the end. We have a lot of material to cover, so I think I'll just jump right in. But like you said, we'll have time at the end for any questions. So this morning, we're going to go into detail on these 3 points. So we're going to talk about the different library services that are available to you, as well as give you an introduction to the library website and our online resources. Then we'll discuss the research process and some strategies to help you prepare for writing your research assignments. And then lastly, we'll briefly touch upon the new library space and what you can expect for in-person services this fall. After that, I will turn the presentation over to Megan, and she will have more information for you on academic integrity. So I'll begin by introducing myself. So my name is Alex Hawkins, and along with my colleague, Nicole Fry, we are outreach specialists with the library.
Sorry, Alex, I'm just going to interrupt for a quick second. I don't think your slides are changing with your share screen.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can catch up here. Is that better?
We're still on the front screen. I think you might have to stop share and restart.
Let me try again here. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Better?
It's just blank. We'll give it a second here.
Okay.
No, it's still blank. Do you want me to try to share it for you?
Sure. Yeah, let me stop here. I should be on the 3rd slide with, yeah, that one with our photos on it.
You can see that?
Yep, that works for
Perfect.
me. That looks good for everybody else. Okay. Okay, perfect. So like I said, it's our job to bring the library resources to you. So that used to mean that we would attend college events and represent the library, and we would also travel to other campuses. But now we can also include remote services under that umbrella. So you can see at the bottom that we offer virtual appointments. So either by phone or by Zoom, where we meet one-on-one with students to answer your questions. So these can be booked for 30 minutes to an hour a day from the library website. The point of the appointments is to meet students' needs and let you tell us what you need help with. So we've helped a variety of students. We meet often with international students, mature students, students with accommodations, etc. Our goal is not to do the work for you, but to promote information literacy and teach you the skills that you need to be able to complete research confidently on your own in the future. You can switch the slide. So this slide is taken directly from the appointment booking page and just gives you an idea of some of the types of questions that we can help with. So finding resources means that we can help you narrow down your research questions and your topics. We can help you identify the keywords that you want to search. We'll talk about choosing the databases most relevant to your needs and how to narrow down your questions so that your results are as specific as possible. We can also assist with doing reputable Google searching and talk about tricks for finding reliable websites and talking about how you can evaluate websites for academic quality. We can also talk about academic integrity. And again, you'll hear more from Megan Shannon shortly on that. But we can review your assignments for citation errors. We can make suggestions to improve your APA formatting. all in effort to avoid any academic offenses like plagiarism. As mentioned, we will help you navigate the library databases for articles, which are usually the most common sources, but we have other databases like those for ebooks and streaming video and statistics that we can go through with you. But if you're ever unsure if your question falls under any of these categories, on our booking page, you will find our email addresses. So please feel welcome at any time. Send us an email with your questions. We can go back and forth via email, or we can help you organize an appointment if you need. Okay, next slide. So where it's my job to take you in depth into your questions, you may also just have a simple, quick question that you want answered right away. So that's where our virtual chat service, Ask On, can be helpful. So if you're on the library website, if you're on the homepage, you will see this big yellow button. Or if you're in the databases, a little pop-up button will come up as well. So by clicking on either of those buttons, a chat box will open and it will allow you to type in a message or a question, which then will be answered immediately by a Fanshawe Library staff member. So as of this fall, we have actually expanded our hours to accommodate students who are potentially studying online from all over the world. So from Monday to Friday, we're going to be open from 6 a.m. to midnight. And on weekends, we'll be staffing the chat service from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'll let you switch the slide if you're ready.
Has it switched?
My screen is frozen.
Okay. Sorry, we've been having this issue a couple times in these sessions.
That's okay.
Let me just try this again here. Has it come back up?
It's blank at the moment.
Emily, are you on the chat yet? Emily Lowe? Oh. Okay, we'll do this. Alex, I might have to see if you can share it again.
Yeah,
it's pausing on mine. Sorry about that.
Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let me go down. Okay, are we on the online workshops slide? Okay.
Yes, we are.
So in addition to the appointments and the virtual chat service, which are kind of on demand, we also host library workshops, which will be online for the rest of this semester. So workshops are 1 hour each, and you can register in advance on the library website. These are a really great way to learn more skills about a specific subject or a specific area. The library workshops are also part of Fanshawe's co-curricular record, which is really great. So by attending 10 hours of workshops, students will receive a co-curricular credit on their transcript. The workshops that you see here are the foundational workshops that we offer every semester. The fall schedule has not been posted yet, but it is coming very soon. So check the library website. We will be hosting these workshops as well as offering more next semester. Let's see if I can get this video to work here. So this little demonstration is just to show you what the library homepage looks like. Hopefully it's working okay. So all of the links that you need are easily found in the boxes on the right-hand side of the page. So under appointments and reservations, you hopefully can see that there's a book a research appointment link. That will take you to the page with both mine and Nicole's availability. So you can pick a day and a time that works best for you, fill out the form, and book an appointment. Underneath that is the co-curricular record workshops link. So that's where the fall schedule will be posted when the days and times are confirmed. So like I said, that is coming very soon.
Sorry, Alex, we're not seeing the website. I think we're gonna have to stay on the presentation.
Oh, there should be a video in the presentation, but it must not be working.
No, sorry.
Okay. Anyway, so everything you're gonna need is on the homepage. That's kind of the point of that slide. On the right-hand side of the page will be all of the links that you need, and that big Ask On button is there as well. Are we on the social media slide?
We're still on online workshops. When you are sharing, if you click away from the presentation, it freezes.
Okay. Let me try. I'm gonna try stopping again, and then I will try sharing one more time here. Let me see. Did that work?
It's still showing blank. I do have a PDF version of your presentation. I might try to share that because I think PowerPoint are issues.
Don't, but I can pull one together super quickly.
Oh, I have it. If you.
Oh, you do? Oh, sure.
Yeah.
By all means.
Let's try this. Has that come up?
Not yet.
Still no?
Still nothing.
Okay, I'm going to stop that then.
Okay, I can see it now if everybody else can. Okay. While we do post library news on the website, the fastest way to stay connected is by following us on social media. So the library has its own Twitter and its own Facebook accounts. So we often post informational videos, we host events. There's been a lot of online contests, and I believe there are daily contests happening every day over the fall semester. So definitely follow us there. We're also part of the Fanshawe Here For You campaign. So that's the Instagram page that's made up of all student services. So you will also find us promoting our events and news there as well. Okay, so that was a very brief introduction to the library services. So we're going to switch gears a little bit and talk about the library resources that are available to you. So the library website is primarily made up of databases. So we currently subscribe to 129 databases. These cover a wide variety of subject areas, different types of resources, etc. So of the 129 databases, we have 14 ebook databases. The great thing about ebooks, some people love them, some people hate them. The nice thing about ebooks is that they are full text searchable. So when you open an ebook, there should be a spot for you to type in your keyword or the word that you're interested in, and it will show you where in the book that word appears. So you don't actually have to read the entire book. You can jump just to the relevant spots, which is really handy. Ebooks can also be downloaded to your personal device. So you can save them to your laptop, to your tablet, to your phone even, which is really convenient. That being said, most of your research will probably rely on academic or scholarly journals. So we have a wide variety of what we call multidisciplinary databases, which just means it's a database that covers a wide swath of subject areas. And we also have subject-specific databases. So those are mostly for nursing or business students, as they have the research-heavy assignments. Between the multidisciplinary databases and the subject-specific databases, I'm confident that every student can find the information that you're looking for. In the blue box, you'll see some programs incorporate statistics and data into their research. We have several really powerful statistics databases that we can help you navigate. And we also have access to Statistics Canada and other government resources as well. And then lastly, and this is kind of the fun one, we have a number of online streaming video databases. So some are educational, they have Canadian content, there's some nursing videos, some have film classics if you like black and white movies or documentaries. But we have two video databases that are almost like Netflix. So you can log in with your Fanshawe username and password, and these two databases will give you access to the latest blockbuster movies and new releases, which is really cool. One of the benefits, actually, that's fine, you can leave it on that slide. So one of the benefits of the databases is that they can be accessed from anywhere and anytime using your Fanshawe login. So it's the same as your WebAdvisor login. You're probably wondering, of 129 databases, how you're supposed to know which databases are relevant to you. So that's where we'll start here. So if you are feeling confident and would like to explore the databases on your own, the easiest way to do that is by using the databases by school menu. So you can see on this slide, there's the black bar across the top. That black bar runs across the top of the library homepage. So if you were to hover over the resources tab, you'll see the databases page come up at the very top of that list. So if you wanted to see a list of all 129 databases with their descriptions, you can simply click on that databases page in red. However, I realize 129 databases can be very overwhelming. So on the right-hand side, you'll notice that we've broken down the databases by school. So by selecting your school, you will see just the databases that are relevant to you. So for example, if you were to click on community studies, I think 23 of 129 databases are relevant to community studies. So obviously it is much easier to search 23 databases than almost 130 databases. I will also point out that underneath the databases page, you should see the pages for ebooks, online streaming video, statistical resources, and more. So again, by clicking on any of those pages, you will see just the ebook databases or just the video databases rather than all 129. So again, with 129 databases to choose from, it would be extremely time consuming to search all of them one by one. So that's where I'd like to recommend the multi-search tool. So this box is found on the library homepage in the center of the page. So this one search bar will let you search most, I won't say all, but most of the library's resources at one time. So you can see that one search box will bring you journal articles. It's linked to our catalog, so you will see our print books that are on our shelves as well. There will be ebooks, there will be streaming video, newspapers, and much, much more. So it can be, this tool is extremely powerful, and some students do find it overwhelming when they're not sure what it's capable of, because it will bring back hundreds of thousands of results. So this is a great opportunity. Library staff can help you narrow down your keyword searches and show you how to use filters that are built right into the database to help you perform the most specific searches possible. So again, to try and make things a little bit easier for students, another good place to start is your research guide. So again, you can see that black bar across the top of the page. That's taken right from the library website. So if you were to hover over research, you can see research guides right there at the top of the list in red. So these are an excellent place to start your research. So each guide, so every program has its own guide, and each guide contains library resources that are relevant just to you. So that means you don't have to comb through all of our books and all of our databases yourself. We've done that for you and put it into one easy location. So inside, you'll find book and ebook recommendations, DVDs and streaming video. We'll make recommendations for which databases you should use. We've even gone through public websites and organizations and associations to validate them for you as reliable sources of information for your research. You can see along the top, you can click on research guides to see a list of all of them. Again, there is the schools listed on the right-hand side. You can click your school, click your program, and it will take you to your personal research guide. Okay, so when you're doing research, it's not as simple as just picking an idea and jumping right in. A good research paper takes steps. You may hear more about this if you have or will attend a session by the Learning Center. The first thing you want to do is define your topic. So make sure to carefully read the assignment guidelines and rules. And I think Megan will touch on this because it does tie in with academic integrity as well. But look at your assignment. Is there a topic being provided to you, or are you allowed to choose your own topic? If so, are you being asked to maybe share your opinion? Are you being asked to make comparisons? All of that information that your instructor provides to you in your assignment outline should help you begin to form a very broad topic. So the second step there is to narrow your topic down. So try to choose a topic that interests you. Obviously, that makes the process a lot easier. You can ask yourself the 5 W's. So why did you choose the topic? Who is involved in the topic? What are the major questions or debate going on in that topic right now? Where is it considered important? And when is it considered important? So is your topic maybe a historical topic, or is it a current event? The third step is to gather background information. You may want to try some very early searches of the library databases just to see if there's enough information available on that topic for your assignment. By doing that, you may also see other results that maybe spark an interest for you or give you an idea. You can also do some basic Googling. You can use an online encyclopedia, and you can look up information on Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a great way to get a basic understanding of your topic and some context, but don't use Wikipedia as a source in your final paper. But it's a good way to just get some background information. Step 4 is to create a research question. So you're going to want to take your topic and turn it into an actual question that you are going to answer with your research. This part, admittedly, it can be very challenging, especially when you're new to a topic. So your instructor or library staff, we can help by asking questions, kind of pulling information, prompting you to articulate your thoughts in a different way. And maybe even a friend can do the same thing for you. Step 5 is to develop a thesis. So once you've created a question, you have to make it clear to your reader what your argument is. So do you agree or do you disagree with the question? Why? So a thesis statement not only says, I'm going to argue that I agree, but you also want to outline the points why you feel that way. So a thesis statement is typically included in your introduction paragraph, and it outlines the points you're going to touch on. So the helpful thing about a thesis statement is that it acts kind of like a roadmap, and it will help keep you on track while you're writing and help keep me as the reader on track while I'm reading it. Step 6, this is where you can finally dive in and start searching and evaluating your sources. So before you can begin searching, you'll need to take your research question and turn it into a keyword search. So I'm sure we've all done a Google search before. You know that you can type a full sentence into Google and it will answer your question. The library databases work a little bit differently. So you need to pull out the most important words in your question, and those will become your keywords. So for example, if your question was, does marketing have a negative impact on teens' self-esteem? You're not going to write that whole question into the database. You'll probably pull out the keywords marketing and self-esteem out of that sentence. You can also maybe add in teen if you need to be a little bit more specific. If you're having trouble with your keyword searching, try changing around some of the words too. So if you're not getting the results back you want with marketing, try using a word like advertising. If teens isn't working, try using youth, and so on. Once you've got your keywords, you'll want to think about where you want to start searching. So you'll have to ask yourself some questions like, how current does the material have to be? So the databases will let you pick. You can put in a time frame and say, I only want, say, information from the last 5 years. You'll want to think about what type of information you're looking for. So do you want ebooks? Do you want journals? Do you want statistics? And so on. That will affect which databases you choose. This is the point in time where you probably want to look at your program's research guides or that list of databases by school to see which databases are relevant to you. If you choose to use public websites and do some Googling, you will have to be aware of evaluating those sources as well. Public web pages can have phenomenal information, but they can also be inaccurate and out of date. Sometimes you have to really be aware of who's publishing the information and why they're publishing it. So there is a test that you can use to evaluate websites. It's called the CRAP method. And there is a link to that on the library's website. So it's a series of questions you can ask of yourself to see if the website is reliable. The second last step there is to cite your sources. I'm sure Megan will touch on this, and it may seem silly to be doing this step before you write your paper. However, you're going to save yourself a huge amount of time and trouble if you keep detailed notes of where your quotes and your information came from throughout the research process. So that's going to prevent you from having to go back at the end of your paper and try and remember where your information came from. Because if you can't cite it, you can't use it. So in an appointment, we can help you with your citations, and we can talk about when to cite and why we cite and how to cite. And come to us before you hand your paper into your instructor, and we can provide you with those suggestions and those comments before you're at risk of losing marks or even receiving an academic offense. And then lastly, your final step is to write the paper. So before you begin writing, you might want to create a mind map. You may have seen one before or not, or even just an outline to help guide you through the writing process. So break it down by paragraph and make a note, you know, my first paragraph is going to be on this point, and these are the quotes and information I have to support that. And do the same thing for your second paragraph and your third, and so on. When you're writing, make sure to save your documents often. I'm sure we've all had that happen where you're in the middle of an assignment or something important and your computer crashes or it dies. So save everything often. When you're done writing, you should end with what we call a rough draft. So there may be some minor imperfections, but at least your main ideas are down on the paper. Give yourself lots of time to proofread your paper. So you can go back, edit it for grammar, for clarity, look over your citations again. It may also be helpful to ask a friend to read your paper, because it's true, it is very hard to catch your own mistakes when you're reading it the second time. Let you switch slides, thank you. So really quickly, as I mentioned back in step 8, you may want to create a mind map to help connect your ideas and analyze your concepts. Again, you may have seen a mind map before, maybe it's new to you, that's okay. Mind maps are a great tip for writing your papers as well as studying for your exams. So you'll want to put your main concept in the center, and I'll show you an example just after this. You'll put your main concept in the center of your map, and you're going to branch out and get more specific the farther out you go. So this is a great tool for visual learners, which like myself, and it really encourages critical thinking and connecting ideas. So I'll let you switch to the example there. This is a really pretty mind map. Yours might not look so pretty, but you can see right in the center, our main concept here is digital marketing. That first level out, so the topics are getting a little bit more specific, and then say, let's look at social media. You can see how we've gotten even more specific as we've branched all the way out. So social media is a piece of digital marketing, and then out of social media, there's all kinds of different platforms and things that you can connect. So really quickly, so after all of that.
Do we have a tool to create such a mind map? Do we have a software tool for it that you guys suggest?
There are websites. I don't remember them off the top of my head. You could probably just Google them. But if you want specific recommendations, I can put my email in the chat perhaps, and then you can send me an email and we can talk about mind map software anytime.
Okay, yeah,
I'm gonna put it in now here before I forget. There's my email address for anybody. Oops, I said that privately. Sorry, let me try one more time here. Okay, there's my email address if anybody has any questions after the presentation. I'll let you go one step further here, one slide further. So after all of that remote and online service, you're probably wondering, will the library or the staff be available in person this year? So the answer is yes. The first in-person service that I want to highlight is our Curbside Pick-Up. So yes, most of our content is online, and we're moving more and more online all of the time. That being said, we do still have a small collection of physical print books that are on the library shelves. Unfortunately, obviously for safety reasons, we can't open the shelves up to the public, but we are offering curbside pickup if there is a book that you want. So you can search the library catalog on our website, and then you'll place a hold on the book that you're interested in. We're hoping for a 24-hour turnaround for holds. So if you place the request one day, it should be available to be picked up the next day. However, if the book was previously checked out by another student, there does have to be a 72-hour hold, so a 3-day hold on it, just to be sure that everything's disinfected and safe for the next person to take out. We will be reaching out to faculty and to instructors to explain that any delay in students accessing books is on us. It's on the library and on our policies, not on the student. The number of books that can be taken out at one time will stay unlimited, so you can take out as many books as you want. Lastly, we will be setting pickup hours, probably a window of time like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day or something like that, for students to drop by the library and pick up their book. So more details to come, but that's a great excuse to follow us on social media and get familiar with the library website. And then lastly, before I pass it off to Megan, I have the privilege of ending my section with an exciting news update. So the library is part of Innovation Village, which is a campus-wide renovation that's happening right now. So that means that the library is moving to a brand new space, which is really exciting. So part of this move includes a merger. So the library and the Learning Center are joining together to become a new space called Library Learning Commons. So the idea of this new space is it's going to be a one-stop shop for all of your research and writing needs. This will also include study skills help, science and math tutoring, citation expertise, and so much more. So we're very excited about that. We're hoping that the new space will be open November 2020. We're still waiting for further details to come down from the college. But until that point in time, you can expect to see research help. So like myself, science and math help, etc. We will be on campus regardless throughout the semester. So location and hours are yet to be determined for our in-person help. So definitely stay connected with the library on our Twitter, on our Facebook, on Instagram, as we wait for official news to come down from the college. So with that, I will pass you off to our Academic Integrity Manager, Megan Shannon. She'll have more information on college policies and academic offenses and penalties and lots of resources for you. Thank you,
Alex.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Before you go, there are some questions in the chat. Do you mind if I read a couple out to you?
Oh, by all means, of course, yeah.
So can students download books, or are they only available to read online?
So the ebooks can be downloaded. You will have to make a separate account. So you will have your Fanshawe account that will get you into the databases, but a little bit complicated. So the ebooks are purchased from different vendors. So there's an EBSCO ebook database, there's a ProQuest ebook database, and those are just the companies that own them. You will have to make an account in each database to be able to download them. So it's separate from your Fanshawe login. You can make it whatever you want it to be, but each database you'll have to make your own account to download them.
Are the services you talked about today available at every campus?
That's still to be determined. Normally we would say yes, definitely. We are expecting to have a presence at London South this semester, potentially 2 days a week. So myself and my colleague Nicole, we're planning tentatively to be at London South on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you can come to campus, we can help you, we can have an appointment, we can show you the resources and so on. Downtown is still up in the air at the moment. Normally we are there, but we're not sure about the fall yet.
And then one more question around academic integrity. Any information used from the internet, is it considered plagiarism or open content?
That's a very good question, and Megan can probably talk more about that in her piece. You are welcome to use, I shouldn't say any source. Obviously, you want your source to be reliable, but you have to cite everything that you use. So any ideas you take from another source that are not your own words has to be cited.
Perfect. Thanks, Alex.
Okay.
Megan, are you?
Hello.
Hi. Would you like me to continue sharing for you?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
I have a question.
Oh, sorry. Megan, can you say hi?
Hi, can you hear me?
You're very quiet.
Uh-oh, okay. I'm looking. It may be my laptop overheating. Is that any better?
It's a little bit better.
Okay. I'm going to try to speak directly into the mic.
Okay, I'm going to share the screen for you, and for all of our students, just as a reminder, if you have any questions, you can put them into the chat. We have people answering in the chat, and we'll take questions again at the end for Megan, okay?
Okay, great. Well, good morning and good evening, everyone. My name is Megan Shannon, and I'm the Manager of Academic Integrity at Fanshawe. I wanted to give you a quick overview of what academic integrity is. I wanted to give you a bit of a walkthrough of our policy, and then I wanted to leave you with a number of tips for assignments and tests that I hope will help you to ensure that you're achieving academic integrity and so that you can avoid any academic offenses. So what I've got here on the screen, or sorry, if you want to go back, yeah, thank you. Being accountable for performing academic work honestly and ethically, that is what Fanshawe defines academic integrity as. So it's being accountable, it's performing your work honestly and with a general sense of ethics. It's being truthful and respectful of your own work as well as the work of others. And these expectations for academic integrity, this is what faculty and staff expect of each other. It's what we expect of our students. It's what students can expect from us. And ultimately, what you'll see happen is that academic integrity will transition with you into professional integrity. So it's the same expectations that employers and recruiters will have of Fanshawe graduates. So if we could go to the next slide, please. Perfect. So these 3 bullet points are coming from our academic integrity policy. So why academic integrity is important? It's important because it ensures fairness in education work pursued, in the academic work that is completed, and in the grades that are earned. These are very important. Academic integrity also protects the value of the degrees, diplomas, and certificates that our graduates receive from the college, and it ultimately reinforces Fanshawe's reputation so that employers and recruiters know that Fanshawe graduates are able to demonstrate the mastery of the academic work that they've completed, the grades they've earned, the education they've pursued, and that they'll be able to perform as expected in the workplace. So these are very cyclical. So our next slide, policy A136, academic integrity, that is the policy document. That link there is live. The document is available through the library website. It's also available through the college's policy manual, which is online. This policy does 3 main things. It identifies the actions and behaviors that the college considers to be academic offenses. And an academic offense is defined as obtaining or attempting to obtain an unfair advantage or credit for academic work by dishonest means. Okay, the policy also describes the penalties that apply to academic offenses. Some offenses may receive warnings, others may have the application of a penalty such as reduced marks or marks of 0, potentially fail a course, or things could become more severe depending on the situation. And the policy also details the administrative process. So everything that happens, should happen and has to happen from the time an offense is suspected to when it's confirmed. A form is completed and the student is notified, and then we wrap up the process. So that's what the policy does. These are the 11 academic offenses. So I won't go through all of them just for the sake of time, but I just want you to see what they are. The first one at the top is plagiarism. This does happen to be the most commonly occurring offense that we see. So this includes taking credit for someone else's work, so submitting someone else's work as your own, modifying someone else's work to make it look like your own, submitting something that you found online as your own work, and either failing to or neglecting to cite work that isn't your own. So if you're copying and pasting text from other sources to support your arguments or what you're describing, and in your work or in your assignment or paper, it can be seen as taking credit for someone else's work. So that's very important. A couple of the other ones, copying from another person during a quiz, test, or exam, whether that is in person or online or through social media, we are very concerned about that. Possessing or using materials, resources, or technologies that are not permitted either during the preparation or completion of academic work or while a quiz, test, or exam is in process. These are very important to note, that you need to be making use of resources and technologies and materials that are permitted and not prohibited. And if you have questions about what can or can't or should not be used, the best person to ask right away is your course instructor. So that's just a very quick summary of what those offenses are. The next slide, these are the penalties. So this image is a bit grainy, but I wanted to show you because this is what students see when they receive an academic offense form. It indicates which of those 11 offenses occurred, was confirmed to have occurred. They're in the same order as they were on the previous slide. And then on the right-hand side there, you'll see what the penalty options are. So penalties do range based on the offense, how frequently an offense has occurred, and how severe that offense is. So it's possible that if plagiarism is detected for the first time, students may receive a warning. If it happens again, the student may have to redo the work, or they may receive a mark of 0 on it. Repeat offenses, for repeat offenses, we could be in a situation where the student would be at risk of failing the course or potentially being suspended or expelled. So the academic integrity is taken very seriously, and between myself and Alex and all of the staff at the college, but especially within the library learning commons, we want to be able to provide students with the tools and the supports and the services that they need so that they can prevent offenses from happening and can prevent them from happening again or recurring should they have happened already. Next slide, please. So initiatives for students. So the Academic Integrity Office does have a website within the Library Learning Commons website. That's where my office is held. That's where I'm available to students from. All of these services and supports are available. So we offer, as Alex mentioned, we offer a number of workshops for students, and they'll all be delivered online. Consultations with myself and my colleagues in the Library Learning Commons are available. We can meet one-on-one, possibly on campus at some point soon, but we're all hosting online appointments via Zoom. We're available to discuss by email, and we are available over the phone as well. And we can refer you to each other depending on what your needs are, if it's research, writing, citing, math, science, or study skills. Someone had a question about plagiarism. So I get asked about plagiarism, how much is okay? So essentially, you want to have, and students are usually talking about percentages with regards to Turnitin. So the important thing to know is that Turnitin, that percentage that it generates, is not telling you the percentage or the amount of the assignment that is detected to have been plagiarized. For plagiarism, you want 0%. You want that work to be your own, and whatever is not your own to be quoted and cited properly. That percentage that Turnitin is bringing up or is generating is a similarity percentage. So it's indicating how potentially similar your work is to other papers that Turnitin has received and what Turnitin is able to find online. So please don't rely on that percentage and think, oh well, I'm under 10 or I'm under 20% and this should be fine. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Next slide. Okay, so some tips for assignments. So this applies to assignments as well as tests. Your course instructor will provide you with instructions. If anything in those instructions is not clear, be sure to go directly to your course instructor with your questions. So other students may have questions as well, and if you compare your questions, and think you've come up with an answer that may be something that you both think is right or your group thinks is right, but it may not actually be the right answer. So for that right answer, go directly to your source, go directly to the course instructor and ask them for clarification. And some assignments will have to be completed independently and individually, and other assignments will involve group work. So make sure you understand when it's okay to work as a group and when you're expected to work independently. Because if grades are being assigned for independent work and people work together as groups, then we end up running into issues as far as, well, whose work is original and who can actually get marks. And we're not able to split marks up. And if you have questions about when something is group work and when something has to be done on your own, ask your course instructor, but make sure you know that going into an assignment. It's one thing to discuss course content with your peers and the other students in your courses, but the work needs to be completed on your own when that's the expectation. Understand which tools and resources are permitted and which aren't. Again, for assignments, like what websites are okay to use, what websites aren't. That's something that your course instructor can clarify, and it's certainly something that the Library Learning Commons can help you with. And just a simple tip, keep track of your due dates and plan ahead. So all of that mapping that Alex was talking about a few minutes ago, if you plan out your assignment and you think, okay, I'm going to do my research on this day, and then I'm going to start summarizing and writing my own draft on this day, and then I'll do my proofreading or whatnot on the next day. If you're able to plan things out, it'll work wonders for you, and then people aren't scrambling at the last minute and looking for assignments to use as their own instead of having had the time to prepare their own work. So if you need an extension, always go to your course instructor. For quizzes, tests, and exams, please note that talking to other students, communicating with other students, whether it's in person, online, through social media, and in any way collaborating with other students while an evaluation is in progress, that's not permitted. If you have questions, again, go directly to your course instructor, but the purpose of the evaluation is to determine how well you yourself know your course content. And if you're collaborating with other people, we wouldn't be able to determine what you yourself know. So it's a risk that I would strongly encourage people to avoid taking. Understand the materials, resources, and technology that can be used while an evaluation is in progress. Maybe a certain website can be checked, but perhaps, in most cases, the use of cell phones or any kind of any method of chatting with anyone else, you won't be able to make use of it. And again, use of cell phones and other electronic devices, other than the one device that you're completing the evaluation on, other devices beyond that would not be permitted during a quiz, test, or exam. And if you need any, or if you have any accommodations, any accessibility related accommodations for exam writing or writing tests, make sure you discuss those with your course instructor ahead of time so that they can make the arrangements that you need to have happen, either through FOL, if that's where the test is being delivered, or through the test center. And next slide. Okay, that's me. So if you have questions about academic integrity, if you have questions about the policy, if you find yourself with an academic offense form in your inbox and you have questions, anything, if you need referrals to anyone at the college, in the Library Learning Commons, in accessibility and counseling, or wherever, please feel free to email anytime. I check my email all the time. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And that's the end of my bit. So I wish you guys all the best. Best of luck for the fall term. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Megan. We have just a couple minutes left today, so I'm going to quickly check the chat and see if we have any questions that have come in. So one is, will the assignments have rubrics provided?
Yes, all assignments. So in every course, you're going to get a course information sheet, which is essentially a course outline, and it will list the assignments and the quizzes and the tests whatever the evaluations and assessments are. It'll list all of that for that course. And then there will be a general rubric there, and there should be a rubric for each assignment and test that will tell you what the breakdown is. How many marks are given for content, how much is given for citation, how much is given for, the research that was done, writing and grammar, all of that. The rubrics are included. They'll be within your course site within FOL. And if you have questions about the rubrics, your course instructor who's running the course, they're the best person to provide you with that clarification.
Great, thank you. I have another question. A student's asking if they always need to use APA formatting in their work or different formats, and would that include assignments and papers?
Okay, so assignments and papers are, if it's a written assignment, and if you're referring to or making use of writing that came from a source that isn't you, if you're incorporating text from other sources, you will have to cite it. Depending on the program, business, IT, applied science, they all make use of APA format. So it's a specific format for citing, when to use quotes, when to use in-text citations, and how to put your reference page together. Some of the more general arts, like language and liberal studies, they may be using MLA, but if you're taking those courses because you're in a business class, or if you're doing a communications course in language and liberal studies, but it applies to your business program, it's most likely that you'll be across the board. I hope that answers the question. Sorry to kind of ramble on at you, but yeah, and myself, Alex, the outreach team, the library and Learning Commons, we're all available we do workshops on APA and MLA, and we're available to help you get on the right track with that. Because I know it's new for a lot of people, but it's important for when you're doing research or when you're working on any written assignment.
Great, thank you very much. Well, it's 10:30, so I'm going to stop the questions there, but thank you, Megan, and thank you, Alexandra, for joining us today. Great presentations. For all the students on today, the library has so many services that are designed to help you succeed, so hopefully you can take advantage of that once you begin your studies. We do have another session tomorrow, same time, same place, so hopefully we'll see you guys all there tomorrow. But have a great day, have a great night, depending on where you are in the world, and thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, stay safe, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. You said goodbye.